Absolutely.
Okay.
Ready for this, man?
Best song I've ever heard. Welcome to the Pantless podcast. And now your hosts, Austin and Travis. Take it away, guys. Well, hello there.
Hey,
How's it going?
How is everyone? We are back for episode 6.
Episode 6. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Ever since I've started doing this new intro and I put that together midweek, I know exactly what episode we're on.
Right? So, yeah, it helps us a lot. This is the Return of the Jedi of Season 4, so, I mean, come on. Come on.
Nobody cares about them. So,
What? Star Wars?
yeah, no.
It was a Star Wars reference for all you young kids who don't know who Jake the Snake Robertson is.
Star Wars reference for all you Trekkies out there.
Snap, you're going to cause a war. A war.
In the stars?
Oh, gosh. I saw a joke today that said, dragons won't explode, but dinos might.
Oh! It's okay. The wife sent me one on Messenger the other day that said I was going to cook alligator, but realized I only have a crock pot.
Oh, gosh. Oh, we're so terrible.
Yeah. No, we're... Yeah, welcome back to the episode.
Yeah, we're here. Now, you've seen what we're all about. You better be hitting that like button. You better be subscribing. Like, you were like, I know this is going to be fantastic just from the get-go. So, we appreciate you guys hitting all those buttons.
Heck yeah.
That little bell. Do they even have a little bell anymore? I don't know if they have a little bell.
You can hit the bell.
Do they?
You,
the notification bell, so you know when we have an episode drop.
Punch.
It's typically on Mondays, and it could be at any time. It could be at 11:59, and sometimes it doesn't even drop on Monday. Sometimes it's a Tuesday.
Hey! I've been editing these the last one time, and I was on time this time.
Well, I honestly don't remember the last time we didn't upload on a Monday, but I know we've had some close calls. We've had some really close calls.
I want to say episode 4 was that the episode that we recorded late, and then I think we recorded Saturday, and then you edited Sunday late, and it didn't render in time, so you weren't able to start the upload till like Monday morning or something like that. I remember there was 1 week like.
Right. Well, yeah, but it still dropped before Tuesday. It was way later than normal.
Yeah, I think it was like.
But it still missed that. It was still before Tuesday.
Remember back in the day when you used to drop these episodes randomly throughout the week? And then all of a sudden you like, hey, let's drop it midnight on Monday.
Yeah. I got tired of trying to be cute. And I was just like, just make it happen as soon as it can.
I need to start getting back to getting more gaming episodes out. Because I know Long Drive was dropping 8 o'clock on Monday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I dropped the last Minish Cap 8 o'clock on Monday morning, right after the podcast came out. So.
Right.
But if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple, welcome back.
Yeah.
To our audio peeps.
Welcome. We hope you're subscribing to us. If you just happen to be like searching for random podcasts and you found us, just subscribe to us, and that would help us out. You don't even know us, you don't even like us, and you won't like us because we're not very likable. But
you are. I mean, everybody.
Not once you get to know me. I'm like one of those candies that are sweet on the outside, but then like once you like suck on me enough, like it just gets really bitter.
Whoa.
So I'm like that. Like you're just like, ugh, I'm tired of this thing, and then you spit me out. That's me.
Hey, I made a comment to somebody the other day that I'm like, we were talking about me and somebody was talking about your singing career, your whatever you were doing at that club the other night.
Oh yeah.
Singing with that live band. I'm like, yeah. She's like, I didn't realize he could sing. I'm like, yeah, he's not. He's more than a pretty face. She's like, he's not even that good looking. I'm like,
you know, when she's talking to you, why would she even be like? She wouldn't have that kind of opinion.
no. Plus, she was only 19, so she doesn't know what good looks like.
Yeah, no.
We won't drop a name on here.
People born in the 21st century are
Yeah, if you don't
pretty
have,
clueless.
if you don't have a 1, if your birth year doesn't start with a 1, your opinion doesn't matter to me.
Yep.
So,
Facts.
yes. So what you been doing there, man? What's your week consisted of?
It's been watching Mortal Kombat, and that's about it. That's been my whole week.
Really?
Watch Mortal Kombat, and that's it. So
You didn't get into any more Unite?
I did not do a lot of Unite this week. Very, very, very little. You know, the last time, obviously you were there the last time, and there was a little bit of chaos in the house, and it just kind of shut it down. So, you know, I was able to log in, and finally I got my Greninja, my free one. I know some people that we know actually purchased Greninja for some reason. Like,
Sean did, which we can name him.
Yeah,
he's been out here. He's
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we can say Sean. Okay, yeah, he's been on the show.
He's been on the show.
Yeah, he bought Greninja. I'm like,
I saw that.
Don't do that.
I had him on loan for a while, but I've still yet to play as Greninja. I logged in yesterday, no, the day before, and got my free Cinderace, Fire Bunny.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm so happy I got Fire Bunny because he's probably one of my favorite characters. Between him,
he's fantastic.
I guess I main 3: Fire Bunny, Machamp, and Snorlax.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just want to say to anybody who plays as Crustle, I hate you. Hate you.
Even if they're on your team? Even if they're on your team.
Oh, and Mr. Mime. Hate you too.
Oh. Yeah, Mr. Mime's kind of broken. Yeah. I want to figure out how to play. I want to figure out Mr. Mime, because every time I have ever played somebody as that, my opponent was Mr. Mime,
wrecked.
I get wrecked. Dominated. I'm just like, what are they doing that is so amazing?
So
what is it?
That night that me, you, and Sean jumped on Discord and you had all your issues. Me and Sean were fighting against a Jinx. No, not a Jinx. A Mr. Mime. And it was a Mr. Mime and a something else. I can't remember what else was rolling. I think it may have been a Cinderace on the other team. And they would get into our goal and score uninterrupted while we were beating the crap out of them. You know how normally when you hit the X to score?
Yeah, and you can block their shots by attacking them.
You couldn't. They were unblockable. And they hadn't done... This was like early match. We were all like levels 3, 4, and 5. And they just rolled through, knocked us out of the goal, started to score. We start attacking them, and they just shrug off our attacks and just start scoring. I'm like, these guys are hacking or cheating somehow.
That's crazy. I know Mr. Mime, he has that like light screen that pushes you back, and it sucks. You're just like, come on.
Snorlax, he has a shield. He's got a block, and when he rolls his block out, it actually physically, you throw the barrier out, and then you can move forward in that block, and any enemy that hits it, it just moves them out of the way. So there was one match where we were going after their main goal, And there was like 4 of them in the goal, and I hit barrier, went into the ceiling, and pushed them as far while the rest of the team just scored.
That is awesome.
And I just pushed all 4 of their team clear. I bet you they were mad. I would have been.
Oh, yeah.
But it was awesome. This is the best use of this move ever. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually, they're the people that when they're a Snorlax, they're casting barrier right when they're about to die, and you can't kill them, and then they're just able to move back, grab some pineapple berries, and then move into their base and like heal up, and you're just like, I just want you to die, and you just can't do anything. You're just like, ah.
I literally get into a match, and I'm like, I'm going to only play defense, and that's all I'm going to do. And like, I'll be in my goal, and I'll be coming back and forth playing defense, not really scoring. And I'll come back to my goal with half health. They'll hit me like twice and kill me. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm grabbing my my daily rewards. I forgot to do it earlier. I haven't played 2 days.
Same Z's.
So
we're like twins.
I actually didn't. I really haven't played anything in like 2 or 3 days. I came home today, started watching some YouTube, and fell asleep in my chair.
Oh no!
I'm like, hey,
no.
I'm over here like dozing off. So literally, not done anything this week. It's kind of been a boring week. So,
yeah.
Let's take that.
Yeah, it really has. Same with. Oh, go ahead.
No, go on.
What are we doing? I was gonna say it flows into music. Like I haven't listened to any music either.
I did listen. We'll get into that later because I actually listened to just a little bit. But you want to do a
retro movie review?
Retro movie review?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Yeah.
So this is a good one, man. This is so good.
Now me and the wife were sitting here watching this movie last night, and it dawns on me that it's been so long since I'd seen this movie, I forgot 90% of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, I don't remember any of this. Because I've watched Annihilation more than I've watched the original. Annihilation, in my opinion, is a better movie.
See, I've only watched that once, and I wasn't even serious watching it. It was like at a friend's house, and we weren't even like 100% focused on it.
If I'm not mistaken, right where the end of this one, where this one technically doesn't end, where the Immortal Emperor like pops in, and they're like, ah, and the song kicks in, and then the movie ends, and it's like, okay, you could have. All right, thanks for that. I think Annihilation jumps right in right there, and that's where the main conflict of Annihilation hits. And I don't know. I'd have to check the cast on Annihilation to see if it is the same group, because I know Liu Kang comes back. So it's Sonya Blade's a different.
I hate it when that happens.
Well, I think we can both agree that I don't think we mentioned this at work the other day or today. That they didn't cast Sonya Blade. I don't think she was a good fit for the movie. But so the only
she has some troubles.
The only returning. So the guy that plays the main bad guy that supposedly died on the spike, he comes back. He's in the second one. Robin Show, which is Liu Kang, and then the girl that plays Katana comes back.
Okay.
And the guy that plays, what was it? The guy that played Sub-Zero. Keith Cook. He's the guy that played Sub-Zero in the first one. I want to say the guy that played Scorpion comes back as well.
And they reprise their roles.
Even though they wear a mask and you don't see their face.
Right. And they were like completely destroyed. So it'll be interesting to see. We should throw that in there. We should watch Annihilation, our first movie plus sequel review.
I got the name. Keith Cook played Reptile in the original, but he plays Scorpion in Annihilation. And the guy that plays he plays Sub-Zero in I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. He plays Sub-Zero in Annihilation, and Scorpion's a different actor.
So the guy who played Reptile in the first one plays Sub-Zero in the second one?
So I think he comes back as Sub-Zero's brother. Because Sub-Zero did die. I think Sub-Zero's little brother puts on the mask and plays. Because I think that's what the wife was telling me. She knows more about these than I do. So, Metacritic scores. What do you think?
There's no way this got anything good. I bet that. What is the critics? I never remember. Are they on the 10 or the 100 scale?
The 100 scale. 13 critics.
13 critics. 37.
Better than that, but not much.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's still in the yellow.
Okay.
I think 60 and above is green. This is a 60. I think like 61 and above is green and... Yeah.
Well, that's impressive. I would have
gave it a 60.
Never guessed. I think that's the farthest I've been off ever.
Yeah.
23 points. I don't think I've ever been that far.
This is one that I'm not surprised that the critics gave it really bad, because if it wasn't called Mortal Kombat, if it was just called Random Kung Fu Movie, nobody'd ever remember this movie and if it existed. Like,
right.
If it wasn't based off a video game that was super popular in the 90s. 362 users. This is a 10 scale.
I'm gonna think the users gave it a 6.7.
No, it's quite polarizing. 8.1.
All right. Okay.
I have a feeling that, a lot of these user reviews are in the... Yeah, some of these are like 2021 reviews. Like 2020, like...
People that only watched it because the new one just came out, they're like, oh, I'll watch the original. And then...
Yeah, that's what it is. So... Yeah, I think these are people like, hey, this is a thing? You know, these are all probably people that, have birthdays that don't end in a 1.
Begin with a 1?
Yeah, the birthday years that don't start with a 1. These are all 20-year-olds that are like, Mortal Kombat, what's this? New movie coming out. And they go to search for it, and it comes out in 1995, and they think they're watching the new one. So,
goodness.
Yeah, I don't argue with... I can see a critic going, wow.
Right.
Wow. Like, that scene when the bad guy walks in, and that statue with that weird creature that becomes reptile animates and becomes real, and you're like, alright, hey folks, welcome to 90s monsters. And it like just looks and even the four-armed guy looks stupid. Like, they gave him like way too much torso.
Right. Goro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't get
that. But the CGI wasn't terrible. Like,
no,
whenever
it wasn't.
the parts that were like puppeteery, or like Goro and like the those statues in the other world or whatever it's called, Outworld, Dark World. What's it called? I don't even know.
Alt-World or Alt-World?
Something like those guys. They look pretty cheesy, but as far as like whenever it got into the actual CGI, I think for '95 it wasn't that bad.
No,
it wasn't. It wasn't bad.
This critic on Metacritic, he's from the Christian Science Monitor. His review was, "It is one continuous fight sequence from opening scene to final credits, but lacks the blood, profanity, and gore that would have merited a more adult rating." No, I think the worst part of the movies is whenever they started talking. I've seen several reviews where it's like, it's just one continuous fight scene. No, they stop.
Yeah.
They're
ruin the movie a little bit by speaking and then start fighting again.
Yeah. Like, Raiden was confusing.
Raiden.
Like, I'm torn on that character because he seems like a good actor that was just in a bad movie. Like, it would...
Like, he's like, yeah, I'll take your money, but he should not have been Raiden. He should not have been. That...
The long hair did not look good on him at all.
No.
And
I didn't like his laugh. Like, why would you laugh like that?
Like, he tried to be seriously funny, and his one-liners were just horrible.
Yeah.
Like, he would make a joke, and it's like, your character, wow, this... You know, the writer should have just been taken behind a barn and beaten for how badly they wrote this movie.
Yeah.
But yet
rough.
the fight scenes were awesome. Whenever they'd start fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, okay, now this movie's redeemed, and they start talking again, and it's like, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
So, what's old Common Sense Media giving us?
Well, we are going to go to Brian Costello, which I think we've had him before. That name sounds familiar.
Where was he from? Okay, you yes. Which one did he do? I'll look it up real quick because you've been tracking that.
Yeah, I think we did Brian Costello. But he says this is a cheesy and very violent adaptation of a '90s video game. So pretty simple.
I agree until he said violent, because if you're comparing the violence in this movie to the video game, this was very not violent. I couldn't think of the word all of a sudden. Tame.
It's like mild.
Very mild movie for.
Yeah, the video game is way more violent.
Oh yeah.
Than the movie. But he says for ages 13 and older, he gives it a 1 out of 5. He didn't like the movie. Parents say 13 and over, 4 out of 5. And kids say for ages 10 and over, 4 out of 5. So
we're doing 2 of his movies in a row. He did the game.
Oh, he did the game. Okay. And I think we didn't have too many issues, right? He was okay with the game. He was
all right. There was a few I didn't agree with, but he wasn't the one that just decided to give everything 3 stars.
Right. The guy that didn't watch the movie but was just like 3-starred everything, and then
that was Stargate, right?
It might have. I don't remember. I don't even want to try to guess who it was. Guys, go back, watch our previous 3 or 4 episodes, and then let us know who we really hated. I think I put in the comments that we tried to cancel them, so you could find that episode and it'll say like, we tried to cancel so and so for Common Sense Media. But what do you think? Let's go with positive messages. I'm gonna see if I can click on this here. I can click on it.
Positive messages. Not present.
Yes. Not present, and I can click on it, and it says no real positive messages. So
thanks, Brian.
Thanks for letting me click on that. What about a positive role model or representation?
I could give that a 2.
Right? I think Liu
Kang is like a positive role. I mean, the dude is literally, yes, he's out for vengeance, but he's the best character. He's the good guy of the movie, and he's gotta, he's going to.
Yeah.
Not present, I'm guessing, was he's saying.
Not present. No, it said characters are walking, talking, and fighting cliches that use violence to solve all problems.
Yeah, but you can use violence to solve your problems and still be a good role model.
There's no other option when you're in Mortal Kombat. Like, think of those words. Mortal Kombat. You have to use violence. Like, if you don't use violence, the world is over.
It's like, combat spelled with a K. To say,
that's true. Like, we don't know what that word is, but
it's more.
Like, oh my goodness.
When you spell combat with a K, you're guaranteed for it to be more violent.
It's like, all right, so he would rather them, like, this is Mortal Kombat. I will suck your soul if you die, and they'll be like, now let's just sit here and have a conversation
talk this out.
About lie. Why are you so angry, Shao? Shang Tsung. Oh goodness. All right. Violence. How do you think Brian felt about the violence?
I wouldn't give it more than a 3.
Well, Brian thought it was a 5.
I don't agree.
But we should have known. He said it was like a violent adaptation of the video game. So you knew he was going to do something. This said frequent martial arts style violence. This movie is basically one fight after another. While the fights are usually done with fists and kicks, there's also gunfire, pistol whipping, and a fighter's head getting frozen and decapitated. A man is impaled to death. A fighter burns to death and explodes. That was hilarious. I was like, why did he explode?
Was that Scorpion?
Yeah, Scorpion. He gets his face cut, and then he just blows up.
Well, he pulled his own face off.
Well, he pulled his mask off, and I guess it took his face with him.
He turned into Ghost Rider there for a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then Johnny, like, sliced his skull in half, like, right here, and then, like, some lava poured out, and then he just exploded.
Yeah, that made... No,
that's 90s action for you. And there was demonic imagery.
Yeah.
So, there was some spooky imagery.
That scene was the only scene with blood, really. Even when Goro was like pummeling people, you get hit in the face that many times, you're gonna bleed.
Yeah. Well, Shang Tsung, remember his mouth? He got a little drip on his lip.
How dare you?
That made him so, like, I was expecting him to pull a Zoolander, or not Zoolander. It was his other movie, Dodgeball.
Dude, seriously, he got hit in the face, and that look he made. And I look over at my wife, I'm like, how dare you make me bleed my own blood?
I thought the exact same thing. Exactly. That was like that was the look that he got. Yeah, that was like
he instantly turns into.
I was expecting. Oh goodness. How about the sexy stuff? What do you think Brian thought about the sex in this movie?
That'd be a not present.
He gave it a 1 because there was a reference to the attractive figure of one of the female fighters.
The female fighter?
Katana kind of fought a little bit. She dabbled, but yeah, that's lame. That shouldn't have been anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about language?
None.
They got a 3. So there was the A word. They also said hell. They said BS, and they said a-hole. So I don't really remember a lot of that.
I don't either.
I don't really remember that.
Vaguely, I guess those are words that I just don't even acknowledge being said.
Yeah. What about consumerism?
I'm trying to think. That wouldn't even be present.
It shouldn't be present. But now, remember our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles consumerism? What they gave them and why they gave it to them? Do you recall?
Which one was that one for? Was that... I don't.
That was the one where they said it was like a 3 or a 4 because it had action figures.
Oh, because it was based off a video game.
So... he gave it a 5 out of 5 because this is the popular 90s video game turned into a feature-length movie.
That is...
Even though there was nothing in the movie, but because it was based on a video game, it gets a 5 out of 5. Full marks. That's crazy.
I guess I need to get a hold of them and ask them what they mean by consumerism. Like,
right?
If my kids...
Yeah, because...
my kids watch this, they wouldn't be like, I'm going to play the video game. No, this is wow, I'm not playing that video game series.
Yeah, I wonder if he did Turtles. I want to go back and look, but I don't have any more reviews because Common Sense Media only lets you do 3 a month.
And if I go and look it up, then it's...
We just wasted one that we already did. And finally, drinking, drugs, and smoking.
Give me a 2.
Not present.
Oh, okay.
Not even clickable.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
Couldn't tell you. What parents need to know? Parents need to know that Mortal Kombat, the movie, is the 1995 adaptation of the popular and extremely violent video game. There isn't much of a story, and the characters speak almost entirely in cliches. There is profanity, including BS and a-hole. Even the martial arts scenes, as bountiful and excessive as they are, nowhere near as entertaining as other martial arts films. A man is killed in a battle, complete with the sounds of bones breaking. One of the fighters resorts to punching his enemy in the crotch to win.
Heck yeah.
That was funny. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
A warrior's head gets frozen by one of the bad guys and is decapitated. Fighters explode and get impaled. All of this happens through the laziest of storylines.
Yeah.
This is little more than an attempt to make a movie cashing in on what was at the time, and to a certain extent still is, a pop culture phenomenon. So.
I don't disagree with the cash grab part of that. That's what it felt like it was.
Yeah, 100%. It's actually really interesting. Cody, who is an adult, on April 25th of this year, says he gave it a 5 out of 5. He says stays true to the spirit of the game, based with excellent fights. Oh man, he can't spell. Cody, bro. With excellent fight scenes, great music, and good special effects. A satisfying watch for anyone liked action with fitting storyline. Cody loved it. Another adult, written by I Am a Superhero Fan, the day before on 4/20/21, gave it a 5 out of 5 for 7-year-olds and older. Said, honestly, could let my little sister watch this. Yes, the movie is relatively violent, with the movie beginning with the murder of Liu Kang's brother by Shang Tsung, the main villain of this movie. The rest of the movie, however, contains mild violence, which you would see in a Spider-Man movie or a Superman flick. He said the violence he gave it a 4.5 out of 5, and then he said the language was a 2 out of 5 for just being mild. He said it had great role models and messages. He said kids will enjoy the action in this movie and the characters, especially Liu Kang. His mission is to avenge the death of his brother and to save the world from enemies from Outworld. I think kids probably will. I think kids will laugh at the jokes and will find Goro really freaky in a good way. And he says consumerism, he gave it a 10 out of 5.
A 10
out of 5.
Yeah, he said whopping 10.
Yeah, he said it's literally based off a video game. So he's people enjoy this movie. Brian hated it. Most people loved it. I don't know. I want to know, but here's my thing.
Yeah.
So we see, like, when they start Mortal Kombat, we see Liu Kang fight that monster guy with the dreads.
Yeah.
We see, who did Sonya Blade fight first? She fought she fought Kano.
Kano.
Yeah, she fought him.
Very disappointing character because of how quickly he just went away.
Right.
Move on. Go on.
Yeah, he had potential. We see Johnny Cage fight Scorpion in an epic battle. And then
Yeah.
they're like, so they're trucking along, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, now we're gonna have to turn it up, and then you see Goro just fighting a whole bunch of people that it's like, who are all of these people? It's like fighter after fighter after fighter from the Earth realm that are just like Joe Schmoes. It's like, who are these people?
What was up with that beat up montage where it just shows just random like
were these people on the boat?
I don't know, because there were like 15 or 20 like kung fu dudes that are just getting murdered by Goro, and all it's showing is them hitting the ground. And it's like,
Yeah.
is this relevant to the movie? Am I supposed to go get like a drink and go to the bathroom while you're doing this? Is this intermission?
It made zero sense. I didn't know who the people were. And then they finally, at the end, or there was the final guy that was just a rando, they actually gave a name, Art. And, he became, this figure. And I'm like, I don't know who Art is. Is he in the video games? Like, is he a special character?
I have no idea who he is, but he's the one that Gage ran into at the docks.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, when he was on the docks and Liu Kang come walking up and he gave him money to grab his bags, the other guy standing there with him was that guy.
Oh. But yeah, he became a thing. They're like, I don't want... And then, Johnny Cage was talking to Sonya. He's like, I don't want what happened to Art to happen to you. Art was, this central figure. It's like, you guys never hung out. Why did he all of a sudden become a thing? It was
but then the fight between him and Goro was not good.
Right? I mean, he just outsmarted Goro. He couldn't have beat him up. There's no way that could have been a physical fight. If it was an actual fight, Goro would have crushed him. So, that was the most realistic part in the whole movie. Really.
It's just...
it was by far the most realistic. How are you going to beat this giant monster thing? I don't know, punch him in the balls and then run away and then push him off a cliff. Once he gets too close, just push him off. Or kick him off. And then that was another great line. This is the part where you fall. Right.
But I think Goro comes back in the second movie.
Of course he does. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody that died comes back.
Well, because in
I
movies
hope Art's in the second movie.
Because in movies, when you die, you're never truly dead.
That's right.
So the whole time I'm like, man, where's the guy that plays Luke Cage? No, Johnny Cage. The main guy.
Liu Kang?
Yeah, Liu Kang. And we found out right before we started recording that he was in Beverly Hills Ninja, which I'm looking at the I'm like, okay, because I have it on my list on Netflix, and he's on the front cover of that one. I'm like, okay, that's one, because they use nobodies for this movie.
Right.
It just got me how just poor acting, poor writing, great fight sequences.
Yeah.
And decent special effects for when it was made. So
yeah, not too shabby.
Classic movie that is awesome. Everybody should watch it. So, what do you want to watch next?
Okay. Next week, talk to our boy again. He really wants us to watch Leon the Professional. He really wants us to watch it. Really bad.
Oh, the Professional.
Yeah. Which I found out it's called Leon the Professional. When I was trying to find out, how can we watch this? And it's actually, it's on YouTube for free. You can watch the entire movie. I emailed us the link. So he has good things. I watched one scene. He showed me one of the scenes.
It says you have to pay for it on YouTube, though. Here.
I don't know.
You said you emailed us?
Yeah, I emailed us the link
Okay. I'll look
that you can watch it. It says Leon the Professional 1994 full movie.
Yeah, it does.
So,
That's playing.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's playing.
I say I say we give it a shot. Give it a shot. This is for you. You know who you are. This is for you.
Yeah.
I watched that clip. It was actually really entertaining. It was if you just want a snippet, watch the I think it's called "You Don't Like Beethoven" or "Do You Like Beethoven?" And it's like, oh, okay, this could be a thing. This could be a decent movie. It's got Gary Oldman in it, and he's like really young. It's great. It's so weird watching these movies that are in the '90s, and it's got like famous people today, and you have to realize like this was 30 years ago. It's like, holy cow!
I like every movie, like anything that Gary Oldman's in. I love that. I mean, even when he's in bad movies, it's like I like his role. Everything else sucked. Fifth Element, he was freaking awesome.
Fifth Element was just a great movie.
It was a great movie, but Gary Oldman was just top notch. See, I was gonna.
I don't even remember Gary Oldman in Fifth Element.
He's the bad guy.
Who was he? He's the main bad guy? Oh, I don't remember that movie. Gotta watch that again. It's been too long.
We need to watch that one as well. There's 2 Damon Wayans movies that I was gonna suggest. It's on Netflix, but
Damon Wayans? Really?
Yeah.
Major Payne?
Major Payne's one of them.
Yeah. Let me try to think. What would the other one be?
It's got.
What would the other one be?
Bruce Willis.
Who's in it?
It's got Bruce Willis in it. Him and Bruce Willis are together. Probably one of my favorite. It could be in my tops for favorite.
I don't know. What is it?
Very inappropriate movie.
Most Damon Wayans is pretty inappropriate. But what is it? I don't recall.
The Last Boy Scout.
Never seen it.
Really?
Never seen it. Yeah.
It's a football movie.
Okay.
Wayans plays a down and out ex professional quarterback, and Bruce Willis is a private investigator, of course. So it's like that. They have to go solve a crime together around professional football. It's kind of like they've got a really good movie. We need to watch it here. Well, I won't watch it until we get a chance to review it, because it's. Think of Die Hard.
Haven't seen it.
Just think of a '90s like detective movie, like the Lethal Weapons and the Die Hards and what's the other ones that they did. Basically just your typical cookie cutter Bruce Willis movie.
All right.
With Damon Wayans in it.
Okay.
So the language is going to be out like through the roof.
Yeah, I can only imagine. You give him full range. I can only imagine.
Yeah. So.
Even Bruce Willis, he's known to. He's got famous lines for movies I haven't seen, but I know he drops F-bombs.
Yippee-ki-yay.
That's right. Oh goodness. So what about this? What about this music, man?
So
what have you been? What's you been listening to? A smidge of something.
I finished my podcast I was listening to, which really Okay, so.
Bare knuckle white guys with revolutionary flags flying around corners, breaking necks at high speed chases.
No,
the podcast.
Okay, so there is a new glorious white knuckled, God fearing, spun out and turned over racing stories. There's a new one of those out. I need to watch that. Listen to that later.
All right.
Episode 3 of that one dropped earlier in the week, and I didn't realize episode 4 dropped. I was listening to the Dell Jr. download, and he was talking to an older gentleman that was did a lot of stuff back in the 70s with Dale Earnhardt, and he was just telling some old stories that he started a bunch of stories of. I don't think I can tell that story. So.
Now I did not, and maybe I don't know. I mean, obviously I don't know, but I thought Dale Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr. like they didn't have a very good relationship, did they?
Like, they did.
They did? Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just had like I thought there was like it's something there.
In the mid to late 90s, Junior had a kind of a rough streak where he was that rebellious teenager, making everybody mad, and his dad was a very highly respected cup driver that was making people mad at him for the way he drove as well. But all the
was
stories
he driving
I've ever
people up the wall.
Yeah, just you get in my way, I'm gonna move you. But then I'm gonna come over and tell you what I thought about it, and we're gonna talk it out, and we're gonna be friends afterwards. I've been jumping to a lot of NASCAR history because the 60s, 70s, and 80s of NASCAR wasn't the prime years of NASCAR, and listen to these podcasts, catch a lot of good history. So if you like history, go listen to the Dale Jr. download on Spotify. Really good stuff. They talk about a lot of good. They just tell old stories. The song I was listening to when I turned off that. So I just typed in metalcore in Spotify, and there's a metalcore playlist, and I was listening to some August Burns Red. Was one of them.
Yeah.
That I was listening to. And I can't remember the name of the. And I knew I'd forget. I knew I'd forget what was the song that played before it was, because it's not going to tell me, because it won't give me what I listened to.
Right.
I'm like, ooh, I need to remember them so I can listen to more of them later. No, I forgot. And of course, Spotify, not being premium, won't actually let me see what I listen to.
For some reason, I think we've. I want to look at our songs. I want to say we've done some August Burns Red before.
I love August Burns Red. Of Mice and Men was one of the groups. Was the first group that played, and they're real good.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I couldn't tell you.
I've heard a few of their songs, but none of them are memorable. So.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
So
interesting.
Yeah, that's
Of Mice and Men. What's a good song from them?
I'm not really sure. Like I said, I don't remember the song.
Well, I'm going to add their most popular song titled "Second and Sebring."
Okay.
And then I'll have to listen to it later because I don't know.
The one that popped up for me, I think, was their song. Oh crap! Now it disappeared. That's fair. I think it was a song called "Real."
R-E-E-L or R-E-A-L?
A-L.
Like not fake.
Correct.
Okay.
There's actually quite on this playlist. I mean, if you want to listen to a good playlist, just type in metalcore in Spotify, and there'll be one that just pops up. One word. It'll say metalcore.
Yeah, how many songs are on there?
A bunch. It doesn't say, but I'm scrolling for a while.
It's like literally every song that's ever been metalcore.
There's some Kill Switch Engage in here. I Prevail. Have you ever listened to I Prevail?
I've heard of them, but I couldn't tell you a song. Couldn't tell you.
Really good. Guy at work turned me on to them. They are they're good. Their lyrics hit pretty hard, and it's like, ooh, that's too real. And they're not, and they got a little bit of language in their songs as well. So if you look them up, warning there. So.
All right.
I think that's all I got for the day.
Yeah.
So, subscribe, throw us a comment, hit that bell, just smack it around a little bit.
Ring a ding ding ring ding 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 ding.
Make it go ring 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 ring. I don't even know. That's
Yeah.
Don't make it do that. Don't make it now.
Or you can.
Or I mean, if you want to.
Yeah.
But,
Rate us, review us. In the description of all of this, there is a link for you to send a voicemail. I would absolutely love to have a voicemail. Just one. So if you made it this far, you're either asleep or you're really into us. If you're really into us, leave us a voicemail. Just something like, hey guys, or something. I don't know. Something. And we could share that with the world. We want the world to hear your voice. Because and very, very soon we are going to be drafting for the football. So if you want to join the league, you better do it like this week, because we'll probably draft next weekend or the weekend after. It's got to be soon.
We didn't even talk NFL today. We didn't even talk about how much your Cowboys suck already.
Yeah, we don't. That's not real. But anyway, bye guys.
Have a good one.